Have you heard about the recent resurgence of measles in the United States? Recent data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, has sparked discussions about public health responses and community readiness. The first quarter of 2024 has seen a noticeable uptick in measles cases. In fact, about 30% of the last 4 years' cases occurred from January to March. As of April 11th, 121 measles cases have been reported across 18 states. These include Arizona, California, Florida, and New York, among others. The CDC has also defined 7 outbreaks, which are clusters of 3 or more related cases. This is an increase from the previous year, where 4 outbreaks were recorded, suggesting a potential escalation in transmission rates. Despite the increase, the numbers remain significantly lower than those observed in previous years, particularly in 2019. To put things into perspective, let's look at the measles cases in the past. The historical data paints a vivid picture of the threat that measles can pose. In 2019, the United States saw a startling spike, with 1,274 measles cases reported. This significant increase was attributed to various factors, including travel and gaps in vaccination. Now, fast forward to the first few months of 2024, and we're seeing a different story. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have so far recorded just 121 cases. That's a significant decrease from the numbers we saw 5 years ago. Of course, this doesn't mean we can ignore the measles threat. These viruses are incredibly contagious and can spread quickly among unvaccinated populations. But it's important to remember that the current numbers, while concerning, are much smaller in comparison to previous years. So while measles remains a public health issue, the scale of the problem is currently much smaller than past outbreaks. Vaccination is the most effective measure against measles, but how does the public feel about it? In an ideal world, vaccination would be universally accepted as our best defense against this highly contagious virus. Unvaccinated individuals, after all, have a 90% chance of infection if exposed to the virus. But we live in a world where public trust in health authorities like the CDC has been eroded. This erosion of trust didn't happen overnight. Following contentious debates over the efficacy and approval speed of the COVID-19 vaccine, skepticism has grown. And this skepticism isn't just about one vaccine. It spills over, complicating efforts to promote vaccination as a preventive measure against all kinds of diseases, including measles. Remember, this isn't just about individual health, it's about community health. It's about preventing outbreaks and keeping our most vulnerable safe. But this skepticism towards health authorities and vaccination poses a significant challenge in our fight against measles. How have public health measures impacted the spread of measles? Let's delve into this. The measles trajectory over recent years has been significantly influenced by public health measures. The relationship is quite apparent when we look at the near elimination of measles cases in 2020. This was a year characterized by stringent health measures, including mask mandates and social distancing, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As we fast forward, the narrative changes. With the relaxation of these measures in the subsequent years, we've observed a resurgence in measles cases. This isn't entirely surprising. After all, these precautionary steps played a substantial role in limiting the spread of communicable diseases like measles. So what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Public health measures are an essential tool in controlling the spread of diseases. They're a cog in the larger machinery of disease control, working in tandem with vaccination and public awareness. The rise and fall of measles cases over the years highlights the crucial role of public health measures. So, should we start panicking about this recent resurgence of measles? Not quite. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, is keeping a close eye on the situation, and their advice? Vigilance and preparedness, not panic. They continue to emphasize the importance of vaccination as the most effective measure against this highly contagious virus. Yes, the measles threat is real, but remember, the numbers are still significantly lower than the peak we saw in 2019. This is not about fear, but about being responsible, being informed, and making wise choices for our health and the health of our communities. So, consider vaccination. It not only protects you, but it also helps prevent the further spread of measles, keeping our communities safer. Stay updated on the latest from health authorities like the CDC. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's also a shield. Remember, the resurgence of measles underscores the importance of vaccination and public health readiness. Stay informed, consider vaccination, and keep our communities safe. Remember to like and subscribe.